What is up, YouTube? Can you believe this? Let's really stop for a moment and understand what's happening. I am actually about to do my third episode of Tea with My Coffee. Insert applause. Yes. So, I am trying out a new lighting scheme here. So, we're going to see how it works. Like I told you, I'm brand new to this thing and I'm trying to make sure it works. But welcome. Enough of the logistics. Welcome to episode 3 of Tea with My Coffee. Got my coffee right here. She's ready. And good. Okay. So let's talk this week's topics. I have my handy dandy notebook here. So topic wise this week we are doing the Black vote. Ooh, yeah. We're doing Lil Wayne and Black Millionaire Syndrome. We are doing Black Twitter, which gives me life on so many levels. And we're also doing Tales from Target, a legitimate Tales from Target this week. I have a tale from Target. Can you believe it? Can you imagine? So that's what we're doing. So why don't we go ahead and get started? It is Saturday, November 5th. Tuesday, November 8th is election day. And I've been trying to not drive myself crazy, like watching CNN and all these different things to sort of see what's happening. What are the numbers? Who's got the numbers for the electoral college? I've been trying not to, but I cannot help it. Because I'm like literally on pins and needles. I did not do early voting. I will be doing regular voting Tuesday morning. I'm going to get up, crack a dawn, and I'm going to go. The school's right at the corner. I'm going to go to the school. I'm going to cast my vote. I am going to use that right to vote for our next president. And so a lot of the things that I've been seeing on the news are talking about both the millennial vote, the Black millennial vote, and then thirdly, the Black vote. There we go. Millennial vote, Black millennial vote, and Black vote. Yes. And so a lot of the things I've been hearing is like Hillary is not going to have the numbers that Barack Obama had in 2012. And I'm like, well, duh. Have you guys seen the scandals leading up to this election? I would not expect her to have those same numbers. There are a lot of scorned people out there. So I think what really scares me though is that, you know, sometimes I still hear people saying like, oh, it should have been Bernie. She's corrupt. I'm not voting. And I'm like clutching my fictitious pearls, girl, please. You can't do that. Like, you have to vote. You literally have to vote. You won't see me put up hashtag I'm with her because, you know, but hashtag I am not with him. And so I'm going to exercise my right to vote and pick the candidate that I do think is better qualified for the job. In this instance, no matter how I feel about what should have happened up until this point, we are where we are, and I'm going to cast my vote accordingly. And so when I see the news reports about the Black vote being down, Black millennials and millennials, you know, it just makes me think about all the things that led up to this point. I think what's really important is that in terms of the Black vote, they were talking about North Carolina specifically and how less Black people had gone out for early voting at this point for Hillary than had done for Barack in 2008. And I'm like, listen, I hope there are volunteers out there. If I were in North Carolina, because North Carolina is a battleground state, you know, if I were in a battleground state, I would be pounding the pavement. Y'all need to get out there and vote. I would be fighting for that. Come, let's go. I'll take you. Get in my car. We'll drive there right now, girl. You can vote right now. So I do think it's really important, and I'm sitting on pins and needles, waiting, always looking at these reports to see. I did see some really heartening things today, both in Charlotte and Raleigh. The line, because today's the last day of early voting in North Carolina, the line for people waiting to vote was like wrapping around the building, and I was like, good job. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go vote. So it's very exciting. This whole electoral college thing and who's going to get the votes they need, I can't. It's too much. It's way too much for me. I just want it to be like Wednesday, and whatever it is, it is. This whole leading up to it is really driving me insane. So there's that. The other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of this election season and politics and things like that, hopefully by this point you all have heard that there was a senatorial debate at Dillard University, and that one of the candidates in that debate was David Duke. You know who David Duke is? He's the former, like, whatever, head white dickhead of the KKK. And I was like, what? So I saw this headline that essentially said, there were protests and people got arrested. And I'm like, yeah, people are protesting. You brought the former head of the KKK to debate at a historically black college / university? Where they do that at? Like, why is that a thing that was allowed to happen? Who decided that was a good idea? You take him to the library. You're not gonna, so disrespectful. If I were a Dillard University student, if I were near Dillard University, I would have protested too, because that is shameful. Like, absolutely ridiculous. When I read that, I was like, Of course people are pissed off. What are you doing? What are you really doing right now? The sheer shenanigans of it. I cannot. But that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. And he was there on the podium talking craziness about Jews, all sorts of stuff. No, we're not going to do that here. Like, but it makes me wonder about the university's board of directors. Like, who's in charge of that school? Because that had to go across somebody's desk, and somebody was like, David Duke, yeah, no problem. Check it off. Fine. Yeah, we can do it. No. We can't. And it shouldn't have happened. So very disappointed in Dillard University. Very disappointed. But, tis the season to be a bigot. Fa la 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 la. I hate to be so negative and, like, almost nasty about it, but it's just, the clock cannot turn backwards for several reasons. One of which being, I will have none of it. Absolutely none of it. Not a drop of it. And I'm sure there are a lot of other people out there who feel the same way I do. Essentially, my whole viewpoint on all of this is try me. Okay. Let's move on. I'm going to stop being angry. Let me take a sip. Take a sip of this good coffee. Okay. All is right in the world again. For a hot second. Because now we're about to talk about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne. One of my friends on Facebook called him Lil Coon. And I was like, oh, that hurts. But in case you didn't know, Lil Wayne is suffering from Black Millionaire Syndrome. And it's a disease where you make money and, like, you lose your mind, and, like, the average plights of Black Americans no longer affect you because you are a millionaire. And maybe a lot of your fans, or most of your fans, or at least the people who go to your concerts, are white. And so you're like, what do you mean? I don't have any issues in this world. Yeah, no, that's what he's suffering from. So in terms of his comments, let me start off by saying that little froggy voice was driving me crazy. Boy, I wish I could have just put the subtitles on and muted him. I can't listen to you, Wayne. But anyway, his initial statement back on Fox Sports, I think, was something like, there's no such thing as racism. Fair enough. You got that millionaire syndrome. But there's no such thing as racism. And so in his interview with Nightline, he stood by that. He was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to change it. That's what I believe. And so the person who was interviewing him, I can't think of her name right now, but she asked him about Black Lives Matter and what he thinks about it. And he was like, what does that mean? That sounds weird, right? It sounds weird to put a name on this thing. And essentially said, I shouldn't laugh, but he essentially said, I am a young, wait, let me make sure I get it right. I am a young, Black, rich MFer. If that don't show you that Black Lives Matter, I don't know what does. That's it. we have a few young, rich black millionaires. So you know what? It's apparent to the entire country that black lives do matter. That's it. How can you argue against that point when we have black millionaires? Just look at all the basketball players and football players. You mean to tell me black lives don't matter and they out here rich? What the hell was he talking about? I don't understand. He must have been high. Maybe he smoked a blunt before he did the interview. Because then he was like, oh, my life matters, especially to my B words. Lil Wayne. He said he don't feel connected to a damn thing that don't got nothing to do with him. This has nothing to do with him. The shenanigans of it all. What do you mean? What do you mean? But that's what happens. That's what happens. You make money. You get disconnected from those sort of real world on the ground experiences. Maybe he don't have them anymore. I don't know. I don't know the life. I'm not a young, rich black mother effer. That ain't me. So maybe when you reach that level, when you hit that status, you don't have these problems anymore. Maybe. So you know what? He walked out of that interview real mad. He was mad at the person who was interviewing him apparently, but whatever. And I saw some headlines today that said that he had tried to pull the interview, like he didn't want it aired. And I wonder why. Could it be because you sounded crazy? Perhaps. You know? I mean, listen. People can say and believe what they want. It is totally up to you. But believe, if you say something that's a little sideways, people are going to talk about it. And to me, that was real. Like, that was some next level, like, cognitive dysfunction that happened there. For him to be able to so much so step out of himself, his existence as a black man in America and be like, that ain't me. I guess maybe that really happens. I honestly don't know. I just think it's crazy. And you know, it makes me start to think about my different conspiracies that I have, you know, like my crazy conspiracies about how, you know, if we have like a few people in a good position, then there'll be an ability for people to be like, oh no, but look here, see, so then this other thing can't be happening, right? So there's no XY because we have A and B. And it's like, I don't know. You could probably still have all those things all together in one big nasty stew of a, you know, implicit bias, systemic racism soup mess. Who knows? I don't know. But I thought his comments were really crazy. And what drives me insane is that when people, you know, especially celebrities, you have a platform. People listen to you. People follow you. And so I feel like it comes with the territory that you have to sort of be more mindful about what you're saying, which is why I think a lot of people are like not here for Trump, because he, you know, it's more than political correctness. It's more than, you know, I'm not a politician. It's real next level with him. And it's not to put him and Wayne in the same field. It's just to point out the fact that when you are a celebrity, when you have a platform, when you have a space where people listen to you, that you kind of have to think more than once about what you're going to say. And I mean, like, even in my instance, I work with students. And so I can't just, you know, say something out of my mouth. I really kind of have to think about it for a minute, because you never know who's going to take it, absorb it. You know, you can impact people. And maybe he thinks that's not his place, or that doesn't happen with him. I don't know. But I thought his statement was crazy and very indicative of what I think happens sometimes when people get rich. It's like you're in a whole nother world, you know. So maybe he doesn't experience the things that, you know, Darius does. Maybe he doesn't, because it's the places where what Darius experiences are not in his purview anymore. That's not where he's at. You know, that he's not going to deal with it. I mean, but this coming from a man who spent 8 months in Rikers. Like, you ain't faced nothing in Rikers? Well, probably not, because he's a celebrity. You see, this is what I'm saying, though. And I mean, if that's the case, then you have to say it that way. And I think the way that he made his comments, is going to be used as a way to take the legitimacy out of the Black Lives Matter movement. I think that's how people are going to use it. Now listen, black folk were all over it. Maybe some woke white folk was on it too. Black Twitter exploded. Like the memes, I can't. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on Lil Wayne. I was about to say AKA Lil you know who, but I won't do it. I won't. I said it once, I put it out there. I don't have to keep harping on it. Okay. So 2 out of the 4 topics down. The next one is Black Twitter. So I had to explain to one of my coworkers, because I said something about Black Twitter once, and he, a white guy, was like, "What's Black Twitter?" And I was like, Black Twitter is a universe in and of itself. It is a place where all things that are to be commented on, that will be talked about and expounded upon in Black culture happen. I love Black Twitter. I think it's hilarious. And so true. I mean, like, okay, so let's really think about it. Black Twitter exists in this universe where if something political happens and they need to clap back, Black Twitter's on it. Black Twitter is on it. If it is a funny stream of holiday memes like Thanksgiving with Black families, which is hilarious, Black Twitter is on it. Like, you know, from comedy to, you know, socio-cultural issues, Black Twitter is on it. I love it more than words can say. It makes me so happy. So happy. And it's really sort of reawoken this love for Twitter for me, because I was on Twitter and then I like really fell off. It wasn't one of those things that I really participated in a lot anymore. But this sort of powerful presence of Black Twitter has really excited me in a way that has brought me back to it. And so when I get wind of something that's trending, or a hashtag that has to do with Blackness or Black people, I want to see it, because Black Twitter gives me so much life. So much life. Yeah. Okay, and then the final topic, my first real tale from Target, my very first real tale from Target. I went to Target yesterday, Friday, after work, and I went for a few things. And whenever I go to Target, I walk down all of the aisles, so I ended up doing that. But I walked down the aisle that had the natural hair care products, and it made me so reminiscent of a time where it were like 3 companies. You go to Target now, and I mean, I get easily overwhelmed by too many choices. I'm that person where, like, if I'm in an area where there are a lot of really good restaurants, I'm going to get so frustrated by the idea of what to eat that I'm like, I'm just going to be over it. And so I thought on Friday that I wanted to get a deep conditioner for my hair, because I need to wash it. This twist out is done. She's dead. I'm really beating this dead horse right now and having it in still, but this twist out is done. And so I was like, you know what, maybe I'll get a deep conditioner treatment. I'm going to go look down the natural hair care aisle, and it must be maybe 6 shelves, the entire length of one aisle worth of natural hair care products. Y'all remember when it was just Cantu Shea Butter? It was like Cantu Shea Butter, that olive oil company, and one more. Oh, Pantene Relaxed and Natural. And we all knew, come on, it was really for relax. But they threw that natural in there because that being natural was starting to pick up. It was starting to be a thing that people actively chose. But yeah, I remember when there were like 4.5 natural hair companies and products. And now, so many. So many. And so when I see videos of people who are saying they're product junkies, oh, I see why. Because you can go into a beauty supply store, you can go into Target and you can just buy everything. And I think what's so beautiful about this whole movement is that, you know, small little companies like Alakay Naturals, I used to watch her YouTube videos when she was just making her own products for herself, right? And now she's in Target. Like, so seeing companies like that, Oy and Handmade, that I think was based in Baltimore, and now it's like in all the Targets. Shea Moisture, like, and companies that I've never heard of, you know? I mean, look at Miss Jessie's, all of these companies who I think initially had like small bases, like fans who like really, that's what I do. Might have been kind of regional, you know, in terms of where they were selling their product. And I mean, I was in Target like, wow. Wow. So needless to say, I didn't buy anything. I had picked up a Shea Moisture thing and I smelled it and I was like, oh, this smells nice. And I put it in my cart. And when I got to the register to check out, I took it out. I was like, how do I know that that's the right one to pick when there were like at least, you know, 27 other deep conditioner treatments that I could have chosen? Like, I was just ridiculously overwhelmed. So I say, way to go, natural hair care companies. Way to go. Y'all out here making y'all money. Y'all got fan bases. People are buying your product. Y'all done made it to Target. You know, let's celebrate that in and of itself. But by golly, am I overwhelmed. I just want to deep condition the hair. I just want to give it a little extra moisture. I can't even choose one because there's 43 of them. It's crazy, but also very, very promising. So I walk down that aisle in Target with pride because I know that I'm going to find something. I didn't on Friday, but generally I'm going to find something because there are products out there for me. I'm not relegated to the world of Simply, Cantu, or Pantene Relaxed and Natural or the Olive Oil Company. No, no, no. I can take my pick. So that was my very first tale from Target. And I think it's a very true one. I'm sure there are other people out there who have had that experience where they go into Target or the beauty supply store, like I said, looking for some sort of product for their hair. And then just based on sheer volume of, you know, just basic availability, you're overwhelmed. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just easily overwhelmed. It could be me. You know what? That's it. That's all my topics. The notebook says so. We're done. We're done. We're done with episode 3. Hey, I'm so corny. I'm such a nerd. But you know what? I want to thank you for riding with me. Talk to me about this lighting. We're gonna see. I'm gonna play the video back and we're gonna check it out. But you know the deal. Please comment, rate the video if you'd like, subscribe, tell your people to subscribe, because I'm really trying this thing out, and I really enjoyed making the tea with my coffee videos because it gives me things to like really think about and hold on to during the week, and I'm writing down content stuff that I can use when I make the video. So these will definitely be continuing. The question is, what else do I do? So that's what I'm trying to figure out now. But in the meantime, remember, go out there, do something that's going to change the world in a positive way. And I'll see you in a week.